Thank you, Ms. Compton. To the officers and members of this organization and all in attendance, let me say greetings to you, and I'm happy to share this event with you. Let me say one other thing. I'm proud of the award that you're going to give me, and I'll just say thank you for that award. But one additional excitement for me is the fact that I'm going to receive an award along with Coach Hughes. I happen to live in the district, Stop 6 district, where he was coach at Dunbar. And let me just summarize and say I confirm everything that you've said about him. And I summarize it by saying he not only taught the fellows the fundamentals of becoming a good athlete, he taught them the fundamentals of becoming a good, productive citizen. For years, the NAACP and the Multicultural Council and other organizations have been advocates for principles which we refer to as civil rights. These principles are noted in the Declaration of Independence and the preambles to the Constitution of the United States. And I encourage you to, every once in a while, go back and review those two articles. The first two paragraphs of the Declaration of Independence and the first paragraph of the Constitution of the United States. Very, very interesting reading. The Declaration of Independence proclaims that all men are created equal and endowed with certain inalienable rights. Among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The preamble to the Constitution of the United States proclaims that we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessing of liberty. Those are terms that are mentioned in those two documents that I've mentioned. You can realize that these concepts address what the socioeconomic system owes each individual, and the process to achieve those goals is an evolutionary process, and leaders in organizations like this one and others that you can think of continue to advance implementation of those principles of life, liberty, and justice, and items that I mentioned that are included in the Constitution. These principles I wish to lift in the conversation that I call civil responsibility to complement the civil rights principle addressed in we talked about. When we talk about civil rights, we are talking about what the society owes the individual. But when we talk about civil responsibility, that concept emphasizes the duty of each individual to interact with every other human being with dignity and respect, without regards to race, nationality, culture, gender, age, religion or non-religious connection, affiliation, his political affiliation, or any other socioeconomic factor. Every individual should have an opportunity and has a duty to promote the general welfare of every other human being. The founding document mentions herein, anticipates, and gives power to the people to make changes in our society for a more perfect union. We advocate these changes for the general welfare of all individuals through litigation, through voting, various types of protest march, education, and constant pursuit of liberty, freedom, justice, and equal opportunity for all. We express it these days in terms of diversity and equal opportunity. Minority groups are protesting discrimination on many issues of concern in the 21st century. African Americans and other minority citizens are protesting for equality throughout our society. Labor groups have issues about compensation and other work-related issues. Teacher groups have issues relating to compensation as well as school funding to help them do their job. Women are protesting equality in pay and opportunities for promotion in the workplace, and health issues that are specific for women. High school students have concerns about personal safety at school and en route to or from school. Their protest renews a whole conversation about the right to bear arms in the 21st century in the United States. And let me say this, we have had people who have complaints about these students. But let me simply remind you that a couple of decades from now, students that are in high school and college will be holding a great number of the political offices and other positions of responsibility in our society. And 3 or 4 decades from now, somebody who's in college or high school now will be president of the United States. So that it's important that they, at this age, become concerned about the general welfare and become individually advocates for the general welfare of our nation. All of these issues are of urgent concern, and the people need to engage in public conversation and work for a more perfect union. We must all stand up together, or we will all go down together. We must, as individuals and as a nation, develop an attitude that every individual has a civil responsibility to interact with every other human being with respect and dignity, and advocate for decent housing, equal educational opportunities, adequate health availability, freedom to participate in the political organization of choice, freedom to engage in whatever issues that he or she may have, and promote the general welfare of all human beings without regard to race, nationality, gender, age, or any other socio-economic factor. Let us all continue to be advocates for these principles and continue to try to work for a more perfect union. That is what civil responsibility is all about.